Let me ask you something direct. Before the divorce, were you scared of women? Probably not. You had a wife. You had a life. You had a role. But now you see an attractive woman at a coffee shop, and something freezes inside you. Your hands get a little cold. Your brain starts running calculations. Is she taken? Am I too old? Do I even still know how to do this? And you walk away. You say nothing. You go home, alone. Here's what I want you to understand. This fear didn't come from nowhere. It was installed by the divorce, by the rejection, by years of feeling like you weren't enough inside a marriage that was slowly dying. This video is not about pickup lines. This is not about manipulation. This is about rebuilding something that was taken from you. Your core belief that you are a man worth talking to. Stay with me, because by the end of this, something will shift. Most men don't realize what divorce actually destroys. It's not just the relationship, it's the identity. When you were married, you knew who you were: husband, provider, partner. You had a defined place in the world. Then one day, that's gone, and suddenly you're standing in front of the mirror asking, who the hell am I now? This is not weakness. This is psychology. Humans need roles. We need context to feel confident. A soldier is confident on the battlefield. Put him in a ballroom. He's lost. You were built for one context, and that context collapsed. So now, around women, you feel like a teenager again, awkward, unsure, overthinking every word. And here's the dangerous part. Women feel this instantly, not because they're cruel, because they're wired to. Attraction, at the biological level, is a response to signals of strength and certainty. When you're broadcasting doubt, when your body is saying, I'm not sure I deserve to be here, women register that, not consciously, but they feel it. And what happens? The connection dies before it starts. I want to be honest with you here. Women are not the enemy. They're not trying to reject you. Most of them, especially women in their 30s and 40s, are just as tired of games as you are. But here's what they respond to and what they run from. They run from men who need approval, who laugh too quickly at their own jokes, who agree with everything, who shrink when there's silence. They move toward men who are calm, who hold eye contact, who speak without apology, who don't perform. They just are. Here's the uncomfortable truth. After divorce, most men flip into approval-seeking mode. They're so starved for connection, so afraid of another rejection, that they become, without knowing it, desperate. And desperation is the most unattractive thing a man can carry. Not your looks, not your age, not your bank account. Desperation. Let me kill a myth right now. 100% confidence does not mean you feel nothing. It doesn't mean you're never nervous. It doesn't mean you always know what to say. I've spoken to men, successful, strong, genuinely attractive men, who told me they still feel a flutter before they approach a woman. The difference? They do it anyway. Confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is deciding that the fear is irrelevant. The nervous system doesn't lie. You will feel things. Your heart will beat faster. Your voice might tighten for half a second. But a confident man doesn't interpret that as a stop sign. He interprets it as information, as energy, as aliveness. The man who waits until he's ready, until he feels completely calm, completely sure, completely prepared, will wait forever. There is no ready. There is only now. I've studied this for years, watched hundreds of men in social situations, and the pattern is always the same. Confident men don't try to be liked. They try to be honest. They walk into a room and they're not asking, do these people approve of me? They're asking, Is this interesting? Is this worth my time? That subtle internal shift from seeking approval to evaluating the situation changes everything about how you carry yourself. Your posture opens up. Your voice drops. You stop rushing sentences. You stop filling silence with noise. And women notice because suddenly you're not a man who needs her. You're a man who's choosing to be interested in her. And that is fundamentally attractive. There's another thing confident men do. They tolerate discomfort. If there's an awkward silence, they don't panic. They let it breathe. They don't collapse and start talking about the weather just to fill the gap. Silence is a test. Most men fail it by running from it. Confident men pass it by sitting in it. I know this next part will make some of you uncomfortable. Good. Comfort hasn't been working for you. The nice guy isn't actually nice. He's strategic. He does things for women expecting a specific return. He compliments, he accommodates, he bends, and underneath all of it is an unspoken deal. I am being this good to you, so you should want me. Women feel this transaction, and it repels them. Not because they don't want kindness, they do, but they want kindness from a man who is also strong. Kindness from weakness is just manipulation in a soft package. Real kindness comes from surplus, from a man who has so much internal stability that he can afford to be generous without needing anything back. That's the version of nice that actually works. So stop trying to earn attraction. You can't. Attraction is not a reward for good behavior. It's a response to a specific energy. Build the energy. The rest follows. Let me tell you about a man. I'll call him David. David came to me 8 months after his divorce, 44 years old, 2 kids, a solid career, objectively, a good man. But around women, he was invisible. He said it himself. I open my mouth, and I can feel them losing interest. We worked on one thing first, not conversation skills, not appearance. One thing, the story he told himself about who he was. After the divorce, David had been running on this internal narrative. I failed, she left. I'm damaged goods. Every interaction with a woman was colored by that story. Even when he didn't say it out loud, his body said it, his energy said it. So we rewrote the story. Not with false positivity, not with affirmations, with facts. The fact that he survived something brutal and was still standing. The fact that he was raising 2 kids with consistency and love. The fact that he had rebuilt a life from scratch and was still rebuilding. That's not damage. That's experience. That's depth. Within 6 weeks, something changed. Not because he learned new lines, because he stopped apologizing for existing. And women responded. Immediately. Here it is, the single most important shift you can make. Stop trying to be attractive. Start trying to be present. Most men, especially after divorce, go into every social interaction in performance mode, calculating, monitoring. How am I coming across? Did she like that? Should I text or wait? This internal noise, it kills everything. Presence is the opposite. Presence means you're actually here. You're listening. You're curious. You're not running a simulation of the conversation in your head while having it. Women are starved for men who are actually present, who look at them, not at their phone, not at the room, not at the mirror, at them. Presence is not a technique. You can't fake it, but you can practice it by being genuinely curious, by asking questions you actually want answers to, by listening without planning your next line. Try it once, just once. In the next conversation you have with a woman, any woman, anywhere, make it your only goal to actually listen to what she's saying. Watch what happens. This is important. I need you to hear this. Stop comparing yourself to who you were before the divorce. That man doesn't exist anymore. And that's not a tragedy, it's just reality. The men who spiral after divorce are the ones who spend years trying to get back to a previous version of themselves, trying to feel the way they felt at 28, trying to recapture something that's already gone. The men who come back stronger, and they exist, I've seen them, are the ones who accept the reset. They say the old version is gone. What am I building now? Confidence after divorce is not recovered. It's rebuilt from different materials, stronger ones. Stop looking backward. The woman you're afraid to talk to doesn't know the old you. She only knows who you are right now. Make that version worth knowing. Here's what I want to leave you with. You didn't lose your confidence in one day. You won't rebuild it in one day. But every single interaction, every conversation, every moment you hold eye contact a second longer, every time you speak without shrinking, is a deposit. Small deposits. Every day. And one morning, you'll wake up and you won't recognize that frozen man who stood in the coffee shop and said nothing, because he'll be gone. And in his place will be a man who walks up, says what he thinks, and doesn't need the outcome to validate him. That man is already inside you. He's just been waiting for you to stop apologizing for everything that happened and start moving forward. Start today.